Tonight we have team coverage on the new developments in Annapolis, beginning with Fox 45's Jeff Abel and the blame game surrounding the state's financial situation.
Well, you know, Governor Moore made his position crystal clear today. He did not inherit a structural surplus from the previous administration, he says. And that has former Governor Larry Hogan tonight shaking his head.
Let's be clear, we did not inherit a surplus.
When the governor set his proposed budget in motion today, he also tried setting the record straight.
We inherited a structural deficit. There was no structural surplus.
But that's not exactly how former Governor Larry Hogan describes it. When he left office 2 years ago, Hogan announced he was leaving the state on sound financial ground, leaving $3 billion in the state's rainy day fund and leaving a structural surplus of $2.5 billion.
It would be a mistake for the legislature to use its newly expanded budgetary power to return to the old habits of raiding the rainy day fund or recklessly spending down the surplus.
Even Governor Moore, after taking office, wrote in a letter to fellow lawmakers, "We are in a fortunate financial position." But today, 2 years later, Maryland is eyeing a $3 billion deficit, and the governor insists he never inherited a structural surplus.
COVID money is not a structural surplus. Federal dollars that came into the states, billions of dollars that came into the states, did not represent a structural surplus in any way, shape, or form. It basically was just one-time money.
Regardless of where the money came from, the state had a surplus. Were there underlying problems? Absolutely, but there was still a surplus.
On social media today, former Governor Larry Hogan tried setting his record straight, writing, "When we left office 2 years ago, Maryland was in the strongest fiscal position in its history, with $5.5 billion in financial reserves. Despite our warnings to protect the surplus, this progress has been squandered, and we are being told that tax hikes are on the way again." In Annapolis, Governor Moore, however, was standing firm.
I know what I inherited. I know the challenges that this state faces. I know the fiscal crisis that is the largest fiscal crisis in 20 years that this state has seen, that has been 10 years in the making.
And he needs to stop worrying about the narrative and worry about the numbers.
As for the budget proposal itself, former Governor Hogan says today that he predicts those tax hikes will simply drive more people and more jobs out of Maryland. We're live tonight. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.